Hi, this is Billy Reader, and today I'm going to show you another Adobe Premiere tutorial, this time using titles and introducing titles. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to go up here to Title. Incidentally, new title. You can also go to File, New, and get Title, but we're going to stick with Title to the title, and we're going to go to Default Still. I'm going to go ahead and call this one Downtown. Hit OK. And there we go. Alright. Two things to pay attention to. First of all, these two boxes that you see here, these are the title safe zones. And with TVs, especially broadcast television, especially older standard definition TV, there's really kind of a bad habit of cropping out the outside edges, so you can really lose a lot of your text if you got it too close to the edge. And so if it was out here, or somebody at home might actually miss the first letter or two. And depending on the resolution of the TV, depends on how far this thing got cropped in. So it's a good idea to always try to keep it inside this inner box, and just to keep your sanity going and for the sanity of those watching your films at home. Now, the other thing is, if you notice, and there's no good way to move this, so I'm just going to move it over here for now. Whatever displays behind this, whatever image, is completely dependent on where this is on the timeline. So if I move it off the video track, that turns black. So, and this tells me exactly, what I'm going to be working with. So if I'm just doing a straight title on black background, this is where I would work. If I'm actually going to do some sort of text on video, then I need to have this set wherever the video is. So this is the piece I'm going to use, and it stays pretty consistent. It's this guy just walking down the sidewalk. So I'm going to go ahead and get started now. So all I want to do is select the text tool, and you have lots of tools you can work with. So again, if you're familiar with Photoshop or InDesign or Illustrator, a lot of these should look very familiar for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just click and get a text box started, and I'm going to just call it Downtown. Alright, so if you notice, once this happened, I'm going to make this box just a little bit bigger. If you notice, apart from these tools, once you have the text box, all of these things light up. And these are all your standard text editing tools. Again, everything that you would normally find in Photoshop or any of the others. And they really allow you to have a lot of flexibility. Also, down here at the bottom, there are a lot of presets. Some of these are great, some of those not so great, so use those at your own risk. But if you notice, they have a lot of design elements into them, and a lot of times people will go to grab these just strictly because of that. But there's nothing down here that you can't create over here on your own, and generally it's easier to, or I like it better if I just do it myself. So I'm just going to actually move this over sort of down where I actually want it, right here on the sidewalk in front of me. I'm going to select text tool again just to keep everything going. I'm going to highlight it, and then first thing I'm going to do is just make this bigger. So I can go over here to where it says font size, and I can just click on it and I can type it in, or with a lot of Adobe products, I can just take my mouse, click on it, and drag to the right, and I'm going to increase the size of this thing. So move that around. Alright, so, and perhaps I also want to adjust the font and typeface. So what I'm going to do is just click over here, and I'm just going to down arrow, and I can just start working through these until I find one that I like. And it doesn't really matter for the sake of tutorial, but again, as with all designers, I'm picky. But I'm also running out of time and you're getting bored. So we're just going to go with that one. I don't even know. I don't even want to try to pronounce that. Alright, so once I have that, I can click and drag it. And this is all really good, and I can click off of it to see exactly how it's going to look. Now this is fine to a point, but one of the things you pretty much always want to do with text is add a stroke to it, because if you take a really light background or text, and the thing with video is the background is always changing around it, and so if you put it up here, suddenly it becomes very hard to read, right? So what we want to do next is actually go put a stroke around it. So I'm going to go down here where it says outer stroke and click add, and all outer stroke does, or any stroke, is it just puts a little line around it. And you can do a lot of adjustments on what it is, size of it. You can click and drag that and make it bigger, smaller, depends on what you want. And that works just fine. I'm going to click that, drag it down, and then all I'm going to do is just hit play. And let's see. Alright, we're going to move that over. So we're getting a little preview action there, so there's a bit of a delay. Alright, so that's not really what I want, but for the sake of a tutorial, we're going to call it good. Alright, now here's the next thing. You don't really have to do anything. There's no save button here, so all you have to do, just X that out. And if you notice over here in your project manager, you've got a downtown box. At this point, all you need to do is just click and drag it in. And then there it is. Now the cool thing at this point, now the thing to remember is it's got to be on a video track that's above whatever your video is, because if you move it below it, you're not going to see it. Alright, so the point is, well, once it's down in the video track, you can now officially treat it like any other video track. So we can add transitions to it, we can move it around, we can do whatever. So I'm just going to do a nice, dissolve in and out. So I'm going to go to video transitions, dissolve, my old friend cross dissolve. I'll throw that in there, make it a little smaller, and then dissolve out. And then hit play, and there we go. Walking downtown. Alright, well, I hope this helps, and I'll catch you next time. I'm Billy Reader. So, yeah.